Hello there. This is a Rough Rider gunstock bone in a muskrat pattern. The muskrat pattern is a knife with two identical, they would call this a clip point, but this is basically what I would use to skin game with. And that's what it's meant for, so that if you're skinning game, you have two sharp blades so that you don't have to stop in the middle like if you were skinning a larger animal, because you don't need a big, huge knife to skin anything. You could just switch to the other blade if the one blade got dull. So I particularly love the muskrat pattern. So this is a beautiful knife. We're going to put an edge on this knife today. This is a Coticule boo. It's spelled bout, but it's pronounced boo. And what that is an irregular shaped coticule. This is a Belgian stone. And the boos can come in different sizes. What makes it a boo is that it is not a uniform shape. They could be this, if you got a coticule shape like that, that would be a boo as well. This is a piece of a Japanese natural stone that I use as a tomo or a rubbing stone for my JNAT and for my other natural stones. What we're going to do is we're going to take this coticule and this knife and we're going to sharpen. So I'm going to raise up a slurry, a fairly thick one. We're going to set that down for a minute. And we're going to sharpen. So what's happening, folk? The coticule has been used in Belgium and other parts of the world for many centuries. To sharpen knives, tools, that kind of thing. Straight razors. I use coticles sometimes to sharpen straight razors. You see how dark that slurry is already turned? I don't know if you can see that. That's from cutting metal. I tend to work a little bit extra on the tip a lot of the times. Now, the thing with this Coticule is you can refine the edge yeah, it's already shaven. You can refine the edge by reducing the amount of slurry. One way to do that is through just spraying it with water. So I'm going to do now. I already have an edge that is shaving. There's something that's making a scratch or something. I can't feel anything. There's a slight gouge in the stone right there. Stand by. Alright, let's try that again. Better. The tip of this blade might be doing that, or might have done that. I may have used a little too much pressure when I came up like that and just gouged it, because coticles aren't, most coticles aren't very hard. That's alright. And this coticule has kind of a gritty feel and sound to it. Gorgeous. That's a lovely edge. Rubbing alcohol, if I can get the lid off of it. Rubbing alcohol. Because the blade, I want to let that alcohol kind of dry that in there. So displace the water, sort of. And I already have a slurry built up on here, but if you see, it's getting dry. We really don't want that, so we're gonna, and I'm gonna try just straightforward stroke. I can already see the slurry changing color. A coticule is an incredible stone. They work really well on knives and tools. They do work really well on straight razors. The problem a lot of times with straight razors and Coticles is that there are different grades of Coticles out there, and some of them are not graded for Coticles, or I'm sorry, for razors. They're graded for knives or tools, and you can hone on them and try to hone a straight razor with them if you want to, but they're just not capable of getting a really high quality straight razor edge on them. And there's a lot of people that have Coticles that they found somewhere cheap and they're not razor quality, and so they have really difficult issues trying to get a shaving edge off of one. Also, every Coticle is going to be different in the way that it acts and in what it needs from the honer. Not as much with a knife, but with a straight razor, what it needs, the technique, and how to go about using it so that you get the best edge you can off of it, and that takes time as well. And that's not quite there yet, so let's get another nice thick slurry going. There's a hair. I must have cut a hair on that last test with it, but didn't realize it, but it's not anywhere near. Oh yeah. That's working. So we're going to do single pass to kind of finish. Lovely. And that's not shaving it. It's still not shaving as well as I would like. Ah, it has a burr. It has a burr on this side. It has to. Because it shaves really good on this side and not so great on the other. So what we're going to do, Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't have a burr. It's just shaving here. So what we need then, I'm going to start with a lighter slurry. We're going to work here. There's what we're talking about. Screaming. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to thin that slurry out because I have a sharp, razor sharp, a shaving sharp edge, hair shaving sharp edge. Since this one gave me a little bit of trouble, I'm going to go really, really light. On a really light slurry, a fairly light slurry. This Coticule will finish a razor, but it's not as good. I have an old vintage Coticule, lovely. That puts an absolutely screaming edge on a straight razor. This one puts a good edge on it, but it's not slurry in that. But it's not as nice as the other. But this works wonderfully well on a knife. And I got good edges on straight razors with this for years. It was the only Coticule I had. And all of that. But the vintage one that I have has manganese, black manganese deposits in it. And it just there's no comparison between the two. So that's it. Bless you. Thanks for coming along. Muskrat pattern on a Coticule.